So, how does this book explore the emotional and psychological aspects of political leaders, particularly their moments of guilt?
Okay, I would like to start with Indira Gandhi, who was very close to her son Sanjay Gandhi. In spite of his nefarious acts like forced sterilization and clearance of slums during the emergent action, she did not have the nerve to reprimand him. And I think this is invariably the kind of emotional baggage she carried with her during her tenure, which created that sense of guilt and allowed her to take some decisions which were unacceptable. And then I would like to talk about Narasimha Rao, who also had his moments of guilt. Uh, his incapability, or I might say his disinclination to stop the demolition of Babri Masjid, remained as a sore wound all his life. And lastly, Rajiv Gandhi did also went through a paradox of guilt when it came to the Shah Bano case. He defied the judgment to appease the Muslim community, but somewhere or the other he realized that he cannot ignore the Hindu vote. And this is where the guilt came in, because he allowed to open the locks of Babri Masjid. So, in contrast, I would say this is how the political leaders are governed by their personal impulses and ideological beliefs that make them take such hard political decisions.
The book seems to discuss Manmohan Singh's challenges during the coalition era, particularly regarding the nuclear deal. How does it portray the intricacies of coalition politics and the impact on decision making?
See, coalition politics is always very tricky, and Manmohan Singh, the then Prime Minister, did taste the pie. He wanted to strike the Indo-US nuclear deal, but he had to suffer a lot of enraged opposition from CPIM, which was a part of their coalition government at that time. But he was adamant. He knew this deal is important because it is beneficial for the Indo-US strategic partnership, and he did that. He went an extra mile to garner support from the Samajwadi Party leader Amar Singh and pulled the rabbit out of the hat. So this is how the coalition politics works, where different mindsets are working together, but somehow if they switch parties or if they don't get along well, they have somebody else to screw their nut. And this is what Manmohan Singh did. So I feel that in India especially, coalition politics cannot be ignored, and this is how the governments have been running for the past so many years, except the Modi government, but which I feel would have to face the slumber now.
So, how does the book explore the influence of personal tragedies or intrinsic ideologies on the decision making and political careers of prime ministers?
So, here I would like to discuss 4 prime ministers whose personal tragedies and their intrinsic ideologies did affect the decision making process. Now, for example, emergency was an aggressive retaliation by Indira Gandhi to the judgment pressed by the Allahabad High Court for the malpractices in her win in the Rai Bareli Lok Sabha seat. And we all know what emergency did to the nation. When we talk about Rajiv Gandhi, he was a bit crestfallen by his mother's demise, and he was fluid to say that if a mighty tree falls, the earth beneath is bound to shake. And it did shake with the 1984 anti-Sikh riots. Narasimha Rao had his buckles tightly knotted when it came to the demolition of Babri Masjid. In his heart of heart, he felt that there should be an end to this charade, because it had created already a lot of unrest in the country and this massive political warfare. And that is why we say today that he was quiet and did not take any action when the demolition happened. Lastly, something that nobody has been able to get over is the Mandal Commission. Even today, in the state elections of 2023, we see a lot of census-based politics happening. So it all started from VP Singh's era. But yes, It did not go well down the throat of a lot of political parties. But why he did that? Because he was the king of Manda. And he had this uncanny ability to solve problems, hear grievances, and find solutions. And maybe this emboldened him to promulgate the Mandal report. But as we all know, it came in cropper and his government fell. So basically, this is how politics works. Every decision somewhat resonates with your belief system. You want to make this country a temple of ideologies, though keeping democracy intact. But sometimes things turn nasty, and the political leaders find themselves like an ant under the load of a matchstick.